Hello and welcome to your first morning cup of Cocoa the Great. I should start by introducing myself. I am Cocoa the Great. I am a musician, entertainer of sorts, as I should be, and a generally creative person. I'm embarking on a new chapter of my life. It's going to be a journey that I should have probably done years earlier, but I'm doing it now. Life is one of those things where it's easy to get lost in the everyday and forget about the every moment of every day. And what I mean is you substitute going to a job every day and working for someone else from actually working for yourself. And this is something that I've done my whole life. I've always worked a job because I didn't have any money. I grew up in a pretty normal lower middle class household that was always broke. We always had things, but we never were well off. As soon as I was 16, I got a job so I could have a car so that I could go out and do things for myself. And as soon as I turned 18, I moved off to college and never went back home. After my first semester, I think I moved out of my dorm room into an apartment that I found on Craigslist that was like $250 a month. And from there, I basically was independent of my parents and just relying on myself. I've lived a life that was fueled by dreams that I knew I was capable of, but powered on a lot of work, a lot of hard work, working in the supermarket industry, working in the restaurant industry, just to be able to afford to do cool things. I mean, when you're a musician, you need a new guitar, that's $1,000. That's like 3 weeks worth of work if you don't have bills. And I did it. I did it for a decade of working for other people to afford a lifestyle that would allow me to shine when I wanted to. And as a result, I sacrificed a lot of myself. I didn't grow a lot. I got stuck in jobs that didn't really benefit me. I was put into places where I didn't necessarily feel like I belonged and kind of forced my way through them just because I knew I needed that money at that time to pay my bills so that I was independent, so that I could do things. And I took a hard road. I could have made it easier on myself and I didn't. And I've always been told that I'm kind of stubborn in that way, but that's what makes you a strong person. That's what makes you someone that doesn't give up. That's what makes you you. And I'm about to embark on a new chapter where I quit all those things and I just rely on myself for everything. I become that kind of self-sustaining individual that does a lot of great things and relies on those to bring life to him instead of relying on others to give life to you even though you gave them better. And what I mean by that is when you go to a job, you're typically going to work for someone. You get your wage, and then they get the benefit of having you there. And more often than not, they're making more than you are. And what's always intrigued me and what's always brought me more into that cycle of art, into music, it's one of those things where you invest a lot of time and a lot of energy and a lot of your life into something that might not materialize, but if it does, it's an all or nothing game. And I'm about to embark on a stage where I'm ready for it. I've spent the last 10 years acquiring gear, acquiring knowledge, practicing, getting a lot of friends, and I'm at the point where I know I can succeed and will succeed because I've invested my time, my energy, my resources in the right places at the right times. And I just want to create something to push me more in the moment, and that's what this channel is going to be. Sometimes it's going to be me sitting down like this, where I'm just kind of going about my day and telling you about it, maybe reflecting on something, maybe, I don't want to say complaining about anything, because I don't think complaining's worth anything. Because there's always something to learn from every single moment if you actually stop, take a breath, and look at what's in front of you. There's always something to learn. And you can always be better every single day if you're there and present, which is something I haven't been in the past. I know I haven't. And there's times where my mind wanders in the wrong directions and can be really self-sabotaging. And the past 6 months, I've really done a lot of personal growth. I've done a lot of things that I had never done before. A lot of things that made me uncomfortable, but have actually made me stronger. And I want to continue doing that. And I want to share that with people, because I know there's a lot of others out there that are like myself. Super creative person that struggles going to a boring, monotonous thing every single day, where they don't feel like they're growing, where they know that they're capable of more, but other people don't believe in them. I've always believed in myself. I always knew that I'm capable of anything I put my mind to. But to say that in a job interview, or to say that to coworkers, especially when you're with people or surrounded by people that are always putting you down, is really hard. I don't know about you, but I know, like, when I've been in the workforce, a lot of jobs are there as placeholders. You can go there every single day, they'll always be there, and it's a way to get by. And when you're in situations like that, you're surrounded by people that are okay just being okay. And I've never been that way. It really hurts me to be just okay. I don't like doing things 20%. I only like doing things 150%, because to me that's what human nature is. You should want to be the best, have the best, and do the best for everyone around you. And it's hard to do that in a regular workforce. And it's time for me to change that. It's time for me to really embrace that, because I've always done that. Like, if you walked in my house today, it's not like any other house. I mean, you can see just from what's behind me, like this wall of records. I mean, who has that? I mean, this is my personal space where it's kind of like my creative zen spot for music, right? I've got my amp, I've got my guitars, I've got all the cool lights, I've got all the sound system pumping, and it's in a place where I can turn it up as loud as I want, at any time of day, and I'm not going to bother anyone. I'm not going to be a burden on anyone. And it's great, because it's a place where I can go to get away from everything. It's a place where there's no judgment, there's no shame, there's only opportunity to grow. And that's what this channel is going to be about. I want to document these parts of my life to basically put myself in focus. Every day it's easy to get lost in routine, and it's easy to get lost in that everyday kind of flow. And you can get off track really quickly. And I want to stay on track. And for me, if I try to record something every single day, whether it's as simple as like a TikTok video, or as simple as I'm just going to go and practice, and maybe I'm going to learn a song a day. I don't know. This is going to be an experience. Maybe in the beginning it's going to start off as something, and then 6 months from now something else hits and we go from there. I don't know. But I thank you for watching, and I'm really looking forward to this new chapter of my life and bringing everyone along for the ride. And if you don't like it, I don't care. If you like it and find value in this, awesome. If you have anything to say, please leave it below. Like, subscribe, do any of that stuff. I super appreciate it, and hope to return the favor by creating even better stuff tomorrow. Thanks. I'm Coco the Great.